What's going on, YouTube? It's your boy Rich Nice back once again. I apologize for the wind, but let me explain before we even get into it. So this is our C-10 project that we've been working on for the last 10 years. We finally got the doors on, finally got them to close semi good, but as you can see, this cab from day one has not been working with us. There's a lot of things that are wrong with it, and we're trying to fix it, but to help mitigate some of the issues that we're having with the cab and the door gaps and everything else, we have something in store that will hopefully help fix this and help our project along a lot further than it already is. So while I go over to the shop, y'all go ahead and watch this video.
Dark side, light this bitch up.
For watching that video. Let me go ahead and turn this music down so YouTube don't try to monetize me or anything like that, which I'm not getting paid for anyway, but we want to make sure. So this is a 1967 C-10 pickup. 67 to 72 are all the same. The only difference really is the 68 and above, the 72 have side marker lights. There will be a red one here, and then there would be a orange one up here in the fender. So regulations and 68 said they had to have them, 67 they didn't. So this is a 67 C-10 pickup. It is in outstanding shape for its age. No major rust holes. There are a couple rust holes in it. One being right here, right there, and the other one being in the bed right here. So those are hopefully easy fixes compared to trying to fix that and get it. Yeah, so the doors closed like they're supposed to, no issues. Inside is outstanding. Floors don't have any holes in them. There's no holes in the rockers, there's no holes in the cab corners, there's no holes in the back. I mean, this truck is in outstanding condition. It was a two-owner truck, father and son. It does have AC in it. That's what this big box right here is for, AC. Has the stock radio. It does have the gas tank, which we already relocated ours, so we just have to take this out. We'll have to finish cleaning the floor up, put our heat and sound deadener in it, and then switch everything from that cab to this cab, which shouldn't be too hard. Fingers crossed. So yeah, and there's no rust in the roof. Normally there's rust up here along the top of the roof above the window. There's none in this truck, none. So this truck is really, really good for what we got it for. It does have the factory straight 6 in it. We're not using that. Again, we're just going to take the bed off of here. We're going to take the cab off of here, the front fenders, and the front grille and bumper, and we're going to take all that and put it on that frame over there, because everything on that frame is new. Brake boosters, lines, gas tank, fuel lines, brakes themselves, master cylinder, AC vent, I mean not the AC vent, but the coolant radiator is all electric. Battery is new, wires are new. It has a painless harness in it, so all that stuff will unplug and plug right into everything on here. So hopefully we can get this done in a couple of days, and we can actually be driving this thing hopefully by the end of the month. So I'm not going to bore you with trying to get all this stuff off. As you can see, I already started taking the bed off because we do have to modify one of the bed rails, which is this one right here. We'll have to cut it just because of our gas tank that fits back here on that frame over there. So we'll have to cut this bed rail out, and then we'll be able to put this bed on there, and then we just swap all our lights off because they're LED, and then we'll have a patina truck. So without further ado, I'm going to go back to work. All right, YouTube, we got the cab separated from the frame, which is right there. It's a straight 6. Frame looks in pretty decent condition to be 50+ years old. I think it's 57 years old. So, and this is the reason I bought this cab per se, is the doors closed. They line up like they're supposed to be. I'm not touching the doors. All the rockers, no rust, no holes, nothing. So what we'll do is we'll continue to prep the inside. This is where your steering columns will come through. Here's where your brake booster would go. Here is where your wires for your rear tail lights and everything would pop in right here. These are hoses that go to your windshield wipers, which we don't really need. And then these big hoses right here, these are for the AC, because this truck has aftermarket AC in it. So as you can see, if you watch my other video, it was horrible. For this right here, this is normally where your heater box would go. I'm not sure what this AC has on it, if it has heat, if it has, or just AC. So we'll see, and if we have to, then we'll pull the heater box out of that cab over there and put it in here. But like I said, I didn't want to bore you with me taking this off, taking a whole bunch of bolts out and pulling this off. I did use the overhead hoist right here to lift it up, and that's how I got it on the cart. But I think when we get ready to put it back on, I may use the cherry picker and build a little like seesaw that goes underneath the roof right there, and it'll lift it up and lift it even, because this didn't really lift it up even. The front kind of hung down, so I had to kind of fix that up and lift it up. And anyway, enough of that talking. We'll continue to prep this and get it cleaned out so we can start putting everything from that cab in this one. If you ever needed to make a perfect hole, this is the tool to have, or the kit. Got this from Amazon. I'll leave a link in the description. So basically, it's basically a hydraulic pump. I forget what the official name to it is, but basically you have two pieces. You have this round piece, and then you have this piece right here, which is your cutter. So basically what happens is you drill a hole big enough for this screw to go through, which that hole was already there. I believe that's where the clutch came through at. So this fit right in it. And then you screw the short end into this blue piece. So it'll stick out like this. After you put that in, then you put this piece on, big round piece, and then you send this through the wall right here, through the firewall or whatever you're trying to make a hole in. And then this piece, hang on, let me get y'all set up. So again, This small end will thread into here. This will be just like this. Your cutter itself, which is this piece right here, will go on the other side of whatever you're trying to make a hole in. Normally it's metal, and it'll screw on kind of like this right here. And then you screw it all the way down till it's tight, and then what you do is you tighten your pump up and you just start pumping. And what it'll do is it'll turn this and it'll actually cut the hole perfectly. So this is a good tool to have just in case you need to make a perfect hole. And it does come in all different sizes. We needed a 2-inch, which is what this is, 2-inch to make a hole for our wiring harness go through for our LS standalone harness. But they also have 1.5, 1 3/4, or 1 1/4, excuse me. You have 1 inch, 3/4 of an inch, all the way down to 1/2 inch. So again, this is a great tool if you want to make a perfect hole and not have to worry about using a hole saw or something like that. This is pretty quick and painless. I think it took me maybe 3 to 4 minutes to do. So just FYI, something you can put in your tool bag that you can have. So, old cab off. We pretty much got everything out of it but the carpet and the amps. So I still got to pull that out. We use this right here, the cherry picker, along with this wood contraption that I built, but it actually works. It's 65 inches long. Got a piece of wood here. There was a piece there that fell off. And this is just to keep the cab from sliding off, you know, once it starts balancing itself. But it worked. We got it off. So yay, yay, yay. So to put this one on, we're not going to use the wood contraption. We're actually going to use the overhead hoist up there. That's a 2-ton hoist. We have a strap that goes around, same way we put this cab on top of this wooden thing, is the same way we're going to try to lift it off of here and put it back on here. Now this is sturdy enough to hold the cab, because I've held the cab in the air when we were working on that one out there over here along with this hoist for a couple of days in a row without it falling. So I know it'll hold, but this will be just temporary, long enough to lift it off of here, move this out the way, slide it over. We got dollies underneath the truck to help maneuver it around. We got our brake booster already out, so all that stuff is good to go. So the only thing we really got to do is just put this on, start putting stuff back in, and start bolting stuff up. So enough talking, let's get to it. Fingers crossed. Now would be a good time, if you have anything that's near heat, to go ahead and we'll use our heat wrap, which is that silver piece right there. I think I'm just going to put some across this fuel line right here, just to be on the safe side. Same thing with these transmission lines. So I'll get that done, and then we'll go ahead and put the cab down. What's going on, YouTube? It's your boy back. So we finally finished up the cab swap. We got the grill on, the bumpers, got our lights working. We got our harnesses hooked back up, got our brake booster hooked back up, got our steering column back in. Got all our wiring underneath hooked up. Got all our wiring for the cab hooked up. As you can see, we do have a third pedal. This used to be a 3 on the tree, and I just didn't feel like taking that pedal out. So it'll stay there for now, and then as I get tired of it, then I'll eventually take it out. But we got our drive-by-wire pedal in. We have our AC in right there. Some kind of vintage AC, not sure what it is. We have our radio right there. It used to be up here in the old cab, but we wanted to keep the nostalgia look. So we're gonna keep this, and then we'll get an auto sound or a retro sound to replace this one that has all the modern updates. We did get our engine light switched over. We used to have a hole down here, but we just put a hole here because this came with choke, because it used to be carbureted. So your wipers used to be here, your lights used to be here, and then your choke used to be over here. So we just put our wipers over here. I got to put our button in. We have our OBD2 port right there. Inside the dash, if I can get it open with it, yeah. Again, we have our computer, we have our relays, we have our TAC, which is your controls your pedal. We have our 6 1/4 or 6 1/2 scar down there on both sides. We have scar in the rear on both sides and the corners down here. We have our 10s in, have our amps in, everything's hooked up, everything is running. We got our digital gauges in, they're running. We have the light on our steering column that when you turn this on, it works. The outside side markers work. We have our tail lights, they're LED that work. They're directional, as you can see. On both sides work the same. Up front, your side marker blinks. And then you'll have your headlight itself blink, and then the light in your bumper will blink. So you got plenty of turn signals to let everybody know what you're doing. So this step is done. We're getting one more step closer to what needs to happen for this thing to be complete. Biggest thing this thing is going to need is paint, which we're not really worried about right now. We'll get to paint whenever we get to it. We built this truck for my daughter, at least I did. So she has about 6 years till she's eligible, you know, to get her license and drive and all that good stuff. So it's okay, we got some time. In the next video, we'll be redoing the doors. We got to get the door latches done. We got to get the weather stripping for the windows in. We got the weather stripping here in already. And then we got to put our handles on, put our panel back on, and that should be that. And then I already put the outside door latches on. That way we can still open the door. So, as always, thank you for liking, thank you for subscribing. Continue to watch. Once we get finished working on this thing, in the next couple of weeks, we'll be working on Flash. We got some parts and things that we need to get him running. He's been sitting for about 8 months, and it's not fair to him to be sitting over there by himself. So we'll get him running and get him out, and we'll go from there. As always, again, from the bottom of my heart, thank you, thank you, thank you. One step closer. We'll be putting this thing on the road here probably in the next week for a test drive. We already got our registration and everything for it, so we are G to G. Till next time, peace.